What's cracking, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, CIZZY, live action, Kansas City, Missouri. Look, we literally in the trap right now. This is 3600. Y'all gonna know about it soon if you already don't, okay? This is gonna be the creative ecosystem for KC here in the next few years. Shout out to my guy, Eli. And make sure you check the description for more information about 3600. But more importantly, the gentleman to my right here today. Look, if you an OG fan of the podcast, if you an OG fan, yes, if they OG fans, they know.
They should know who it is.
They should know who it is. Y'all should already know what's popping. Like COVID times, audio only, audio fucked up. Matter of fact, great story. I had this nigga on the phone like this on speakerphone. I had one Blue Yeti mic. And I was just, every time I would talk into the mic, and then when he would talk, I'd take the speakerphone, put that bitch right next to the mic. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling. But we had a good conversation. I've been following this man to my right on social media for a few years now, so probably since...
Do you remember how we connected?
Respectfully, I think somebody just told me about, like, I don't know, it could have been through a... Do you know? But I don't even remember buddy name, and I feel bad because he came on the show. Do you know Crash? Photographer, white boy. Fashionable, has some jeans, makes jeans and shit. Either way, it might have been him or another young cat that made some...
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, so I think somehow through him or one of his friends that also makes pants, I can't... Runner.
Nick Malone. Shout out to both of them, by the way.
Yeah,
I hope they see this.
Yeah, so I think one of them two might have put me on.
Yeah.
If not that, I might have just found you on IG, respectfully. Back in the days
well,
when
wait,
you were...
now it's starting to click to me. I feel like me and Nick, I know Nick. You good?
You good? Yeah.
Right,
Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, we right in front of a door. This is outside. You know what I'm saying? And so I heard some sounds. I was like, I hope a nigga don't try to walk through this door in the middle of the show. But, you know, we keep it authentic and up front. So, sorry, continue.
It's all good.
It's coming back to you.
Yeah, now, I think you got me either Nick reposting my stuff or me reposting his or whatever. I don't remember, but I think it had to do with either Crash or Nick, yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me in my head because I was like, I couldn't remember how. But either way, man, we've been tied in since probably the early 2020. So like maybe right when the pandemic hit for sure. And bro, it's just making me think back to the designs and what you were posting on IG then, which I already thought was dope, to now, and the type of shit and the type of work you're putting out now, and being able to see the evolution is crazy. Let's talk about it. So 2020, man, what do you remember working on? Like when we had our interview, what do you remember like working on? What was in your head? What was the vision for the brand and for you know what you were doing? Like YKT. I remember it was YKT vibes back then. So go ahead.
So for the record, YKT was my old brand. It was my initials. Changed that after I got a couple orders from overseas.
Put that mic up to your mouth.
Then my bad.
You all good,
and then the brand went from YKT to Yazn Global. Then I was making sweats, you know, little stuff like that everybody and their mother can make, but I took it a whole other route. I literally just learned how to hand sew back in February.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like hand sewing work, and I got into leather work, and I think this is where my work is starting to get more appreciated, more than it ever has been. So, yeah, man, definitely evolved and still evolving. Very long ways to go still, but I'm enjoying it, man.
Do you publicly share your age?
Yeah.
All right, so let the people know how young you is and how much more time you have to evolve, because it's not like you fucking 45 now, bro. There's so much growth to come.
I used to keep it private because people would like judge. Once you tell somebody your age, they like judge you based off of that.
Yeah.
But now it's like I have work to show. I tend to be around sometimes people that are older than me, and we tend to have the same ideas and get along. So I'm 22 years old. December 18th, I will be 23. So
and he out here popping shit. He out here popping shit, man. I really love. We have something on the table right now. Let's go ahead and talk about this piece right here now. I know, ladies and gentlemen, We ain't got the HD quality camera, but what we do have is a fucking camera. We ain't in the goddamn top 10 out of 10 studio, but what we do have is a fucking space. This is what we call gratitude, and you got to move with the attitude of gratitude. And the reason why I was happy, you're like, bro, let's make a podcast happen again. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I don't want to do podcasts because I'm like, man, I don't feel like I've evolved. But each step is a step. First, it was the audio, speakerphone to the Blue Yeti. Now we got some mobile microphones. There's a space. The next time we're going to interview, we might be in the goddamn White House. So you know what I'm saying? I was like, let's make it happen. So we got it on a random table that was in the room. But this piece is dope. I was just talking to you about it before we press start. Share with the people what's going on the table.
So I want to keep it. I'm gonna obviously present it, but I want to also keep it short just for like,
of course,
to protect it a bit.
Yeah, respect.
So this part's called The Last Ride Home. This is one of my best friends. They got out the military, did 4 years, and he brought a couple sea bags back with him. And I was like, dude, let me, I did something with them. Took them apart, cleaned them up. And then all these pieces of denim was from an old denim drop that I did back in 2020, 2021. A whole bunch of scraps, put it together. And every single piece of denim on there, I placed myself, and all that is sewn. It's definitely a lot of work.
I got a question. I got a question that pops up in my head. So when you do these custom pieces that take like, I assume hours on end to create, and now
minimum.
Minimum. So like when you create these pieces, how do you think about them from a business perspective? So one thing I always think about when people create these custom pieces is like, okay, how can you mass sell these? Like, how can you? Is it not about selling it to 1,000 people and keeping it like super niche into like a small audience that gets it, and then just ramping the prices up? Or like, how do you think about it from a business perspective? Because I'm always wondering, like, why do people even take the time to create custom pieces if they're not going to make like hundreds of thousands of them to like sell to mad people?
Well, my thing is like, whether people want to admit it or not, mass production is definitely where the money's at. The quick money.
Right.
But for me, I luckily have, not to get too personal, but I have other avenues of income that also has to do with fashion.
Yeah.
Like when you I don't want to call myself a professional, but once you build those certain skills under your belt, it's like you're gonna have other companies start coming to you and asking for this, asking for that, and you'll give them you're kind of like a contractor.
Yeah.
Here's my price. Here's my work. Some will question. Some will even be like, you know what, you got this done in like 3 days. Matter of fact, here's more, and I got this other client for you, which has happened multiple times with me. But my goal would be, so right now I have like, it's basically 2 sections when it comes to my brand. It's a section to where people who can't afford my $500 to $1,000 bags would be able to buy like, excuse me, like any, my non-leather bags, goddamn, my non-leather bags are like $200-$300 or whatever. So some people would be able to afford that instead of being able to afford, higher up bags.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do mass production, but at the same time, I don't want my brand to be like a fast fashion brand to where it just goes up and then it just drops.
Right.
Or just starts slowly drop. Like every single brand's gonna have its like downtime, but I want my downtime to be a little bit different. You know, so like I said, mass production, it's a lot of money's there, but at the same time,
you really care about the creation.
I care about the craft
piece.
and longevity of my pieces. I make sure, like, dude, like, some people are gonna look at me crazy, but I fill my bags up, whether if it's like, a couple firearms or something heavy, shake it up, move it around or whatever on some of my bags just to test the quality before I hand it to the client.
Yeah.
So I care about longevity. You can easily, bro, and it really bothers me, like, because they call themselves these high-end brands or whatever, but it's like, dude, like, you got people who are putting in hours, and I'm not even speaking for myself, I'm speaking for everybody else. You got people who put in hours and hours and hours of their craft, and all you're doing is going to Alibaba.com or Amazon.
Facts.
Getting a Cricut machine from Michaels.
Boom.
Getting a heat press from Amazon, that's $120. Downloading the app on your iPad or your iPhone or your Android, and And then
He's a businessman,
sorry.
not a businessman. But nah, download. Yeah.
Put my phone down. Disturb.
No,
This
you
is-
all
this is
good. But like creating.
So yeah, people pretty much get all that stuff and then go on Fiverr.com and then hire a graphic designer to make a logo and then get it on a PSD or a little PNG file, print it out, put it on a shirt. If you guys don't catch on, that was a little blueprint on how to even start in general. So
That's
I just
a
gave
fact.
all that out.
He just gave you game.
But so it just bothers me when they call themselves. They just look down upon like a lot of people. People get certain level where like, bro. And another thing is like people don't even realize how easy it is for you to blow up nowadays. You know
With
what I
the
mean?
internet,
Like
shit.
you got TikTok, Reels. Well, no, we got social media now, bro. People who have like the internet when it was first starting, like there are a lot of more millionaires now. They were
Right.
just getting to the internet.
Yeah.
But now it's
It's
like
a new level. It's another.
yeah.
It's another thing on top of the pyramid.
And
yeah.
the difference between two is it's super oversaturated, but it's super easy for you to get that traction.
The
going, that
attention's
traffic.
there.
Yeah,
The attention's there.
A lot of people also don't like will get that attention and then don't know how to keep monetizing, capitalizing off of it. So
That's hilarious because I was
Yeah.
actually, this is kind of going off topic a little bit, but that made me think about something yesterday. I said, imagine how many people there are on Twitter, primarily Twitter, but Twitter, TikTok, other social media platforms with dumb followers, like, 100K followers, just because they tweet like funny shit. It could be a meme. It could just be somebody that's actually funny and they just quote, how you be on Twitter and see some wild shit that says like,
Yeah.
I seen a shorty at the mall today and she was wearing this. I was like, this, and then it goes viral, right?
Yeah.
And then they just know how to make funny tweets, and they no hate because I just came from my job that ain't paying me shit, so no hate on nobody like this. But then they go to a motherfucking 9-to-5 job that's not paying them shit, yet they have 100K, 100,000 people that they have their eyes. They just don't know how to turn that into a money-making opportunity. They don't know how to monetize the attention. But the attention is the asset. The attention is like your greatest value. But if you don't know how to turn that attention into something by selling them a product or a service or learning how to curate a community around it's crazy.
my thing is I feel like, bro, like if sometimes it may require a environment change. It may require for you to let your boss know at your job that, hey, I'm gonna be off or lie to your boss and say, I gotta go something mandatory or whatever for 3-4 days. Take a trip to LA or New York and get around and meet up with the 100,000 followers that you have that may be alive, maybe your mindset will change. Dude, like this was back in November. I wasn't in the best, I don't want to say mental, but I was just really like second guessing a lot of stuff, like with my brand.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't want to say it was a tough time either. It just wasn't the best time. And I don't want to reveal on like, we're really down here. I like
in
this.
a trap. We keeping that in.
But
go ahead.
nah, man. So I don't want to reveal. Well, a lot of people know who I met, but I don't want to say it just with
all
everything that's
good,
going
all
on.
good.
I get a call, and I end up going to LA the next day and meet this individual and be around these certain people and connect, and that changed my mental like in a matter of like hours. I was like, dude, I'm over here tripping about this back home, whatever. When in reality, like all I needed was to go out and probably like change the scenery for a couple of days. So maybe that's what it takes for some people.
Yeah, no, it's
maybe
real.
That's what it is. Like, and dude, this is what bothers me. A lot of people these days look down upon 9-to-5 workers.
That's why I had to
Bro,
preface.
not everybody wants to scam. Not everybody wants to do dumb shit. No disrespect.
All you Detroit scammers,
Whoa,
stop watching
I'm
my
not saying
podcast.
Detroit. I'm not saying none of that. Shout out to Detroit. I have a couple homies in Detroit, bro. No. Nah, man. It's not everybody wants to do that, and I'm not knocking no man for his hustle, but not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody wants to be up a couple bands that way. Some people want to take it a different. So that means you don't just look down upon them, or when you guys get into an argument, be like, yeah, go work for your boss tomorrow. That's not the right thing to say
at
man.
all.
Some people, so we need those type of people.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's essential, bro.
Me personally, I haven't been employed for somebody for about 2-3 years, but my mentality is already like, okay, if anything gets ugly, I'm never too good to go work for anybody else. You know what I mean? As long as me and my manager can get along.
Yeah, I mean, that's different. Disrespect. You should never tolerate disrespect in any situation. No. But nah, I love that, man. I want people and listeners to think about the quote, your environment is a reflection of your reality. And that's what you just said kind of reminded me of. It's something I used to say all the time in like little Twitter posts, If you follow my content, I like to share a lot of little inspirational content on social. And I always used to say your environment is a reflection of your reality. And that's why many people need to just leave their city for like at least 3 months, like minimum. You just need to leave your city for 3 months and or make it a conscious effort to get out of town a few times a year and go see some places, because that shit will really change how you look at things. It'll change your perspective, if not through what you view, through the conversations you end up having and the type of people you end up meeting. And when you can do that, it doesn't mean you need to leave Kansas City or leave Raytown or leave Overland Park to be successful. That's not true. But you do need to leave in order to have a perspective change, to see what's possible and what's really out there, and then decide how you can implement what you just learned into your hometown or into your area.
A lot of I don't say I'm contradicting myself, but a lot of everything I just said is easier said than done.
Facts.
For a lot of people, because a lot of people are trapped. We can't like even look the other way in that situation. Like a lot of people are trapped, and I think people just they gotta just don't become a product of your own environment. Like even if you do gotta avoid certain family members or certain people,
certain streets, certain cars, certain friends. Yeah. Shit. Nah, real talk.
You gotta keep a very. I mean, dude, I've been having my friends for almost a decade. Mm-hmm. Not many may know this, but I'm Muslim. I'm both my parents in my life. Grew up with both of them. Went to an Islamic school for a couple years. All that and like
here.
Yeah, I went to one in Grandview. Dude, it was... They
got a school here?
They have two of them, ISGKC and this other one, but I went to the other one that closed down is in Grandview.
So it had like K through 12 or like K through...
I want to say it was K through 12, yeah, but with me, what I ended up doing was I went to...
That's dope as fuck. I had no idea. Keep going.
I went to Redbridge Elementary for like elementary school, and then I went to the Islamic school after that. And then I went to the middle school and then graduated from Center High School, which caused a little culture shock and all that stuff that, you got. For people who are weak, I want to say, like, at least mentally, when it comes to certain things, you're going to get ate up by certain environments. It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like with me, for example, I went to a whole other... Went to an Islamic school and then pretty much had a little culture shock, but still kept in mind that, okay, this is not what I like. This is not what I do. I don't partake. I'm not supposed to partake in any of this stuff. So really didn't partake in a lot of stuff. But, basically all my friends are the complete opposite of me. Two different cultures, but we get along so well. They've been supportive. And it would be nice to have. I'd like to have like Muslim friends in the community and all that. I really don't. I have a couple supporters and stuff that when I do see from time to time, but that just goes to show, man, like it doesn't really matter what kind of how can I say it? It doesn't really matter what kind of like you don't have to be the same anything to get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a facade. That's really just a wall people create. People love to create obstacles. Definitely. And society loves to create it too. Oh, if you're Christian, you can't get along with Muslims. And if you're not Muslim, you can't get along with Baha'is. If you're not this, you can't get along with Buddhists. It's like, nah, fam, we can all get along. At the end of the day, it's just love and moving with the intention and understanding that we're all human.
Yeah.
And
no, I mean, bro, I would love to build a friendship with like people who are like, I think what it's gonna take for me is probably go to a different state or probably
Different community in general.
I'll probably end up taking a road trip and probably stopping at a mosque in Ohio. I might run into you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little stuff like that.
We slide into Toronto, bro. We slide into Toronto. I'm trying to meet
Well, I would love to go.
I'm trying to meet all the Muslim homies in Toronto because, like the Somalis, I'm trying to meet all the homies.
I went to school Somalis,
bro. Somalis are my
people.
favorite Africans, bro.
Yeah,
Somalis, I love y'all. Shout out to all my Somalis, man. But nah, yeah. Talk a little bit about, if you're comfortable, of course, but you know, how do you navigate religion and spirituality in such a crazy world, and as a young person, you know, growing up? A lot of times what I've seen happen, and you can share if this is something that has been similar for you, but like a lot of things that I've seen happen is like when you grow up, you have all this pressure from parents to be a certain way because, like in my faith, you know, because this person said that, or you know, maybe in your faith, Muhammad said this.
Yeah.
Like the same thing in my family, they'd be like, Baha'u'llah said this, blah blah blah, and they're trying to say, oh, you need to do this. If you don't do this, you're gonna be bad, or you're not gonna have a good life. And then you start to question, and when you start to question, you get told not to question, which I don't think is a win. And so a lot of kids, they graduate high school, they move out, and they start distancing themselves from their faith and start distancing themselves from their family, especially like the religious side of the family. And it's really this tough time from like 18 to like our 30s sometimes, where we're trying to navigate like, what do I believe in? What does my source of like something greater than me come from? Like, what do I think about what my parents were teaching me growing up? Like, how's that been for you as a young man? You're 22, about to be 23, like, moving from away from family, or being close to family, or having to separate yourself, you know, how do you navigate that? Plus, you're in the industry technically. You're not a music artist, but you're a fashion designer, so like you have to be involved at some point, or not. Well, you know, as we'll talk about here in a minute, you have to be involved with industry people, and you have. So like, there's also that energy around like the industry in LA and
no, definitely,
and all that. So yeah.
Okay, so
whatever you want to share, and I'm down
to share whatever, man. So at least from my mentality, what I feel like, if we're gonna get into religion, I'm not telling parents how to raise, because I'm not a parent.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Not yet though. Yeah, babe, you heard that. Sorry, go ahead.
Religion is supposed to be something for security, not fear. A lot of people are raised in a household where it's like, you need to fear. It's supposed to be security.
Yeah.
You know, and if we're gonna get into, like a lot of people these days too, bro, what they do, they only turn to God or Allah for me when times are super bad, and then look the other way when things are going just fine. Come on, like what, you know, so it just doesn't make sense to me. But also, like, I feel like to avoid from you scattering, you know, to avoid from your kids scattering away from you, do not put that lock on them or trying to get them to, you need to teach them the way of your guys' religion, teach them the culture, teach them this, teach them that, and teach it to them in a soft way as kids, you know. You're not supposed to teach them with, oh, this, oh, that, like it no, that's how you scare children away.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, just better parenting, way better parenting. Like,
real.
For me, I don't come from the most religious home, but family does pray, and we partake in Ramadan. We partake in all that stuff. But for me, it took for me to dive into, not really dive into, because I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But it took for me to get around like people in the industry a couple times, or like certain environments. That's just like, this isn't for me. I'm referring to like, how can I explain? Like the drugs, the drinking,
right?
All that.
Right. The culture of the industry,
That, and it took for me to realize, okay, now I see why I was raised to not
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
feel
Like,
you,
because
yeah.
it's a long
You see how it's hurting somebody else,
Yeah.
and so you start to realize,
and
oh, this is why they were trying to guide me in this direction.
yeah. So it took for me to attempt to probably go to school of hard knocks,
Right. Yeah. For
kind
sure.
of,
Yeah, in a way.
But at the same time, it's like it's no judgment on
Any
if you
of those
drink
people.
or smoke
Right.
or any of that.
Do
Dude,
your
I
thing.
got friends who are the complete opposite of me.
Living their own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's no judgment. I love them to death. Very supportive. But yeah, just certain things where it's just I
You
step
see
away from
why
it.
it doesn't work for you. No, that's
It's not
real.
for me. Yeah.
And I think like going back to using obedience as a form of fear. That's what a lot of parents do. Is like you're obedient to the faith and the laws and ordinances of the faith, or this. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be or this. It should just be like, hey, you should try being obedient in these ways because it's helpful in these ways.
Yeah.
But too often our parents approach it from, don't have sex before marriage or you will die. Like, they'll say some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is another thing too. I feel like make sure you're not a kid up here when you become a parent.
I feel that. But I also feel like
Don't wait
someti-
forever.
But that also, we're always still learning. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant process of still learning. So as much as you think you might be mature enough to have a child, you could be 45 and still not have the necessary knowledge. But be mature in life. You could have a full-time job, be married in a healthy relationship, and killing it in your job, and still not be ready to be a parent. Or like I don't think anybody's ever really ready, which is my debate back to that. It's just like, there's definitely a difference between a 14-year-old having a child and a 40-year-old. Don't get me wrong. Like, duh. But I also feel like we learn from our parents, and we swear down that we're not going to be the way they were. But then too often we give up too early. Like, you know what? I'm just going to resort back to what my parents did because I don't know how to raise this kid. And so so a lot of parents don't do the necessary research they could have done to be a better parent. They kind of just resort to what everyone else is doing.
Here's the thing, bro. I feel like this. I feel like if you're born into a family that may not have made the best decisions in their life, you take a step back and you accept the fact that you're just gonna the family that I'm from, that's blood to me. I'm gonna learn from this family on what not to do when it's time for me to have my family.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be, and a lot of people may not take that route, and that's definitely understandable. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's gonna be like this. Not everyone can be like this. You know what I mean? Like just straightforward. So yeah, I get that, man. Like I definitely understand. But and when I said make sure you're not a kid up here, as in like have certain things already planned out. Little things like make sure the child's room is stocked up on diapers and all, like basically like prepare, be financially stable, mentally and physically stable.
Know that you can take care of someone when it comes to
We're talking about all this like I'm about to be a parent tomorrow.